Hello, video rebooters. It is day 40 already. Can you believe it? Feels like just yesterday I came on to the video rebooters group and said that I was going to be starting and did my first video. And here we are at day 40. Yeah, I've said the same thing about, juice cleansing or juice fasting or whatever, juicing before, that when you're in the middle of a juice only, it seems like a long time. But when you look back, it doesn't seem that long at all. So, yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag there. So because it's day 40, I did my weighing and measuring. The last time I weighed was day 30. Because now I'm going to try to go to 60 days, and I'm going to try to weigh and measure every 10 days now. So I'll be doing it again at day 50 and again at day 60. And I think at day 60 I am going to stop juice only and go into a modified plan, which I'm really hoping is going to work. But I'll talk about that later. So I did my weighing and measuring, and in the last 10 days I am down 7 pounds. Which is awesome. And so that is a total of 36 pounds in 40 days. So I cannot complain about that in the slightest. I was kind of hoping that maybe I would hit 50 pounds down in 60 days. But considering the weight loss is slowing down, I'm thinking I'll probably be just shy of 50 pounds. Because I was just shy of 30 pounds at 30 days. So I think at 60 days I'll probably be just shy of 50 pounds, but that's okay because it will give me something to shoot for instead of just, giving up and just going back to, I don't want to do that, but it's going to give me an extra goal to work towards. So to keep me having an incentive to eating healthy after the juice only period ends. And I lost 4.5 inches in the last 10 days. Interestingly enough, most of it came from my chest and my hips. A little bit came from my waist and thighs, but not much. And nowhere else. My neck, no, nothing. My arms, nothing. It was mostly from my chest and from my hips and thighs. So that's always interesting to me to watch that move around the body of where I find taking measurements so much fun, actually. I mean, it's not in the sense if you just look at the numbers in the beginning because you're like, oh, that is so big, that's such a big number. But it's fun to watch the rotation of the weight coming off at different places. And oh yeah, that's another thing I wanted to talk about, sizing. I'm sorry, I made some notes about stuff to talk about because I didn't want to be here forgetting, because I'm kind of in a hurry. It's in the morning. I just saw my husband off to work. I got some work done. I got my weighing and measuring done. I got myself dressed, and my daughter's actually sleeping in. So I'm trying to get this video finished before she wakes up. So yeah, I wanted to talk about, I got my first ever compliment about losing weight. Yay! Interestingly enough, it's from my aunt who lives in a different apartment in the same building. So, she sees me all the time. And she knew that I was doing the juice thing. She was actually one of the first people that knew about it. Since losing my mom, it's kind of nice to have her around even more because it's another person around the same age as my mom, and she's not like a motherly type figure, but it's, something close to that for me and for my daughter. So that's nice. My aunt was down in the garage, and I ran into her down there, into the shared area of the house. And she's like, so how much weight have you lost now? And I told her, well, I haven't weighed in 8 days, but it was 29 pounds, And and she's like, you can really tell that you're losing weight. And I was like, thank you. You were the first person that I know personally that has said something. And she goes, yeah, somebody else said to me, that they thought you were losing weight. So that's kind of amusing that people will talk to, my aunt and say, oh, I noticed that, so-and-so is losing weight, but not me. So, yeah. And then I came home and I said to my husband that my aunt said something, and she was the first, human being that I know in person that has said something to me. And he was like, well, what am I, chopped liver? And I said, you haven't said anything. Like, I was waiting for him to say something, because usually he says things like, whenever I, do this sort of thing, he'll be like, "You're disappearing." Like, he'll give me a hug and he'll say, "You're disappearing." He hasn't said anything. He's like, "Well, remember when I wrapped my arms around you and I said I could put my arms around you twice?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "That's what I meant." So he was trying to say that was, he meant that to be a compliment about me losing weight, that he could like wrap his arms around me twice. And I said to him, "But you've been saying that to me ever since we got married." So that's just not, I didn't take it that way, but that's what he was intending to do. I said, "You usually say something like, 'You're disappearing,' or, 'You're getting skinnier,' or, something like that." And he's like, "Well, I didn't say that because you're always so sensitive about your weight." And I'm like, when have I ever like given you a hard time about telling me that I'm losing weight when I actually, am? Like, I mean, or, when have I ever said anything, like, why would I not like a compliment about losing weight? Even though, yes, I am sensitive about my weight. If you make a compliment about me gaining weight, it's going to bother me. But, yeah, so I don't know. But he apparently claims that he was the first. So there you go. So he was the first, and then my aunt was the second. But other than that, I haven't had anyone say anything. And I haven't had any, more compliments about getting dressed up or, going out from anybody. But yeah, I got my first compliment. So, but you know what? I am actually starting to notice it more in the last 10 days. It's weird. In the last 10 days from day 30 to day 40, I feel like I'm noticing more of a difference than I did like the entire 30 days before that. So I don't know what is going on exactly. But interestingly enough, my clothing size is still kind of weird. Like, I am actually, I think I told you in some of my earlier videos that I started off at like a very large size 20, maybe a 22. But I was in like size 20 pants, and I was in like maybe 1X to 2X shirts like 18s, 20s, something like that. And I am actually fitting into right now a few size 14, 16 shirts. So that's exciting to me because I have not been in a 14 in a very long time. Now, granted, it's a 14, 16, but, and there's actually two shirts I bought in the beginning, towards the beginning of my reboot. I bought them at the thrift store, and they were a little snug, and I haven't been able to wear them. Well, I just wore them in the last 10 days. And they fit fine. So that was a nice little milestone. So the shirts are dropping. I'm dropping sizes in shirts, and I'm finding shirts all the time that I have to, put in my sell pile or giveaway pile or whatever. Pants, interestingly enough, it's weird. Like, there's only two size 20 pants that I have anymore. The others are too big. So I'm still wearing those, but when I try to go into my size 18s, they're too small. All of my size 18s are too tight. So I don't know why I'm like dropping sizes in shirts, but yet I'm having trouble dropping sizes in pants. I just recently decided to try an experiment because I think it's the brand. I don't know if my body has changed shape since I wore those. I mean, it's only been like maybe 3 years or so since I was in those size 18 pants, but I don't know if maybe my body has changed shape, but they were different brands. So what I did was, I'm hoping, I'll see if it pays off. I did kind of an experiment. The size 20s that were the only ones I was fitting in when I started. I said there was two pairs of size 20s that were kind of on the bigger side, and they was the only pair I fit in. So I think that particular brand of those two pairs of jeans runs a little big, but it's shaped differently. And all my other pairs of size 20 are different brands. So I think what I decided to do is I decided to order a smaller size in that brand. So that was a size 20 in a particular brand, and I think they were probably closer to a 22. I think they run a little large, but the style and the cut seemed to really work for me. So what I did was I went online. Now we'll see if it pays off, and I ordered a size 16. Not an 18. I didn't go to an 18 because the size 20s are so big on me now from that particular brand that I figured the size 18s would only fit for a short time. So I just decided to go down to a 16. So I ordered a pair of size 16s in the same brand, and I want to see when they come if I can squeeze into those or not. Because my suspicions are if they do run a little large, that the size 16 is probably equivalent to an 18. So, but because the cut of that brand is different, I'm thinking that might fit me. So we're going to see how, if my experiment is correct or not. But you know, hey, I have 20 more days of doing juice only. So if they don't fit me right when they come in the mail, they should fit me by the end. I would certainly hope. So that will be nice because then I'll at least be able to like say that I dropped from a size 20 to a size 16 in the one particular brand of pants. Because right now I'm just having trouble fitting into any of my 18s. But my 20s are mostly too big on me. So I don't know why. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would I, you know, and my shirts are obviously dropping in sizes. So why would my pants not be as well? So I don't understand that. When my measurements are coming off from all over me. So it's the only thing I could figure is that it's just the shape of my body has shifted, which it makes sense. I mean, it could have happened. So, so that I wanted to talk about. Okay. I wanted to give a shout out. I wanted to give a shout out to not only all the other people posting on Reboot with Joe that have been very encouraging, but I wanted to give a particular shout out to Autumn because I was just thinking about this the other day, and I know she's going to be ending her juice only. I think she said December 18th. I'm going to be probably going to December 24th. So there's going to be a few days where, you know, she's not going to be probably posting videos every day. She's going to still be posting videos, she said. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Autumn because, and this is why, I was thinking about when you're doing juice only, it is hard. I mean, it is very hard. Most people don't realize, you know, I mean, well, most people don't realize how hard it is if you haven't tried it. But when you've tried it, you realize it's hard. And even after you got your momentum going, it's still hard. So what I've been trying to do is fill my mind with things juicing related, you know, juice radio. I've been reading books because I haven't been watching much television because I can't eat, and TV for some reason makes me want to eat. I've been doing more reading than I have in a really long time. So I've read Joe's book. I've read a couple other books about fasting, not juice fasting, but just fasting in general, just as like ways to keep me motivated. And I've been trying to watch like documentaries, and I've been trying to watch, you know, YouTube videos of other juicers and things like that. And even though the forums got dead, it was very nice to know every morning when I log in to Reboot with Joe that there was going to be another video from Autumn. So just the fact that she's so consistent and been posting videos every day, I feel almost like we kind of did this together, even though she started much before I did. And she's doing 100 days and I'm only doing 60, only 60. I kind of feel like we did this together, and it was really encouraging to always be able to come on and watch a video of someone else doing this, especially when nobody else was posting. So I just wanted to, you know, give a shout out to Autumn. Thank you for, you know, being so reliable and so dependable, and, you know, knowing that I could turn on the website and find another one of your videos every day, come what may, rain or shine, you know, that you were always posting was something that was really been helpful to me over the past 40 days. Also, yeah, I wanted to mention what books I was reading, just in case anybody else wanted to look into any of them. Of course, reading the Reboot with Joe Juice Diet. That's the only one of Joe's books I have. I know he has a new one, you know, fairly new one out, but I haven't gotten that one yet. I'm also reading a book called, hold on a minute. It's right here. The Complete Idiot's Guide to Plant-Based Nutrition. Because like I said, I tried to go vegetarian, like, I don't know, 8-9 years ago for about 6 months, and it didn't go well. I wasn't getting all the right nutrients that I needed, and I was getting depressed, and I gained weight. So this time around, I do have a plan for when I, you know, stop juice only. Of course, I am going to have some cheat days, so I'm hoping that doesn't totally derail me. Like, I already know the day after Christmas, December 26th, it's like 2 days after I'm ending my juice only. I'm invited to a bridal shower, and there will be food there. I'm going to try to get as healthy as I can, but I know that there will be some things there that I probably, you know, shouldn't eat. Or maybe I'll have no choice but to eat something that has like a little bit of maybe like, oh, let's just say baked beans with sugar, you know, in them or something. So, you know, there might be a temptation to eat something that's not that healthy, and is that going to like derail me? Or am I going to be able to just take that one day and then get back to my plan after that? I don't know. I'm really hoping it does not derail me. So I'm reading this book because I want to know like what kind of nutrition do I get from what, and what food should I be eating more of to make sure that I don't get any deficiencies. And to see if I can make it work. And I probably will have the occasional, meat here and there. I probably won't totally cut it out forever, but I will probably try to make like most of my meals, completely plant-based, and see how it goes, at least for the first several weeks afterward, and see how I feel. And if I'm feeling good, then I'll just continue. But if I'm feeling like I need an adjustment in some way, then I'll reevaluate it there. And then I also read a book called Fasting Can Save Your Life. It's an old book. It was recommended by someone on another forum, on the Reboot with Joe forum, on another, on the newbies or the group reboots. I can't remember. I just saw the recommendation and I thought that looks interesting. Now he's just talking about plain old water fasting, but I just thought any kind of book about fasting would help encourage me. And then I was reading one on Kindle too, one on my Amazon Kindle that was like only 99 cents or something about fasting. Now, of course, a lot of those fasting books, say that they don't recommend juice fasting. They just recommend regular fasting, But I still felt like the principles applied and were encouraging to help me be reassured of the benefits of what I was doing. Also, I know that several people have mentioned on the forums about not being able to sleep while juice fasting. I know Autumn has talked about it, and I was having trouble, but now I am sleeping great. And I made some changes, and I just wanted to mention what I did. One of the books I was reading about fasting, again, not Joe's book, one of the other books, said that fasting raises cortisol, which makes total sense because your body is going into high alert to go get food or whatever. So fasting can raise cortisol levels. So I was thinking maybe that's why I'm not sleeping. And I had one thing I had been taking. When I started juice fasting, I stopped taking pretty much any supplements. I didn't take any vitamins or supplements, but one that my body always loved was magnesium, because I am a high stress person and I get worked up about everything. And I have always done well taking magnesium at night before bed. I take magnesium oxide. I know there's magnesium citrate as well, but I take magnesium oxide in capsule form, and I started taking it again, like 1 or 2 of them at night before bed, because I thought, well, if I'm having high cortisol levels, and magnesium is an anti-stress mineral, that's what they call it. It's like a nickname for magnesium. It's the anti-stress mineral. And I've always thrived on magnesium in the past. Why don't I add it back in? So that's what I've been doing. I've been taking 1 or 2 at night, and I am sleeping so much better, like you would not believe. So I don't have that thing happening anymore where I'll wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning after only 5 hours of sleep or 4 hours of sleep and be wide awake and can't go back to sleep. I am able to sleep now. So I just wanted to share that. And I think that might be all I really wanted to talk about. I said I lost 7 pounds in 10 days, in the last 10 days, and I lost 36 pounds total, and I lost 4.5 inches in the last 10 days. And I talked about what my plan was after day 60, that I want to try to eat, I want to continue to juice, I want to continue to drink 1 or 2 juices a day at least, and hopefully that will help control my appetite and also help keep my cravings for healthy things in place and not unhealthy things. I haven't really been craving anything unhealthy. I haven't even been craving things like bread and pasta. The only thing I was craving was when I smelled the freshly baked bread. Then I was like, I want it. But yeah, I haven't been craving anything unhealthy, really. I've been just craving healthier stuff and plant-based stuff, and I still haven't figured out what my first meal is going to be like after. My first meal is going to be when I break my fast. I am still trying to debate with that. The one thing I've been consistently craving throughout the entire juice thing is quinoa. But it is a grain. So I don't know if that should be literally the first thing I eat, but that's what I've been craving. And I think maybe because I've been craving it for the entire time, maybe I should eat it. I don't know. Maybe that's my body's trying to tell me. What I'm reading in this book about plant-based nutrition, it seems like quinoa has a lot of good stuff in it. I know it has a higher protein level than a lot of the other grains, and I know it's almost like a superfood, I think, by definition. So, it's got to be good for me, right? I'm hoping. I've also been craving chickpeas like crazy, but then again, I have always loved chickpeas, and I've always loved quinoa too, to that matter. So I'm trying to debate, do I just want to eat an apple like what a lot of people do? An apple might actually be good for the first thing because your digestive tract has sat dormant for so long and there's a lot of fiber in there, so it can probably sweep clean your stomach and intestinal tract. So maybe an apple would be the good first thing. And then after that have like the chickpeas or the quinoa or whatever. So I'm kind of debating, or do I just want to have a salad? I don't know. I don't know. But I do want to try to do like juice for breakfast after my day 60. And then another juice, like whether at lunch or in the middle of the afternoon. I'm not sure. Hey, maybe even 3 juices a day. They're only like 16 ounces. And then, just have, salads with it, and maybe like something with chickpeas or black beans or quinoa. Like try to keep it. I'm going to try to keep dairy out of it. I have lived most of my life without dairy. Interestingly enough, I have worked dairy back into my life in the last 4 or 5 years, and I've had a lot of weight trouble in that period of time. So maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe dairy just wasn't my thing. I mean, I never really drank milk or anything like that, but I would bring like some real mozzarella cheese in and things like that into my diet in the last 4 or 5 years. So maybe that's contributed to my having the weight issues. So I'm going to try to, get back off dairy totally again. And, as far as, like I said, I never ate much red meat in my life. I don't really plan to eat red meat. I think chicken might be hard for me. I think I might want to bring back in some chicken. But like I said, I'm going to shoot for the majority of my food to be, vegetarian or even vegan, with occasionally maybe having like a supplement with like some meat in it, but we'll see. But my plan right now is to just try the, plant-based and see how I feel. Especially easing out of the juicing. And then in the new year, if I want to get back on an official like modified reboot, I mean, I still will have quite a bit of weight to lose. I also want to see, that's another reason why I want to stop at 60 days. I want to see whether I can maintain and continue to lose, because my problem in the past has always been when I did anything like this is I would have some success, but then I would just creep back to my old habits. So, which I don't want to do. So I would like to I would like to be able to prove to myself that I can lose a few pounds. I mean, it won't be anything like what I lose with juice fasting only, but to lose like a few pounds on my own with a plant-based diet and like with watching what I eat, and to continue to drop some weight. That would be nice. Instead of just gaining like 10 pounds back and then going on a new reboot in the new year, that would be a lot more like my old pattern of doing things, and I don't want that. I want to be able to learn to maintain and control my weight and continue to lose, because I still have, I had like 100 pounds to lose when I started. I've lost 36 now. So I've lost a big chunk, and maybe I'll lose close to 50 by the time this is over, and that would mean I would still have 50 pounds to lose, but even losing 50 pounds, I think I'm still in the overweight category. I'm still like borderline overweight, even obese in on the weight charts. So I just picked 100 pounds because that was a weight where I felt good about myself. So losing, 100 pounds, I'll be feeling pretty good about the way I look, but I will still be technically overweight and nearly obese on the charts. So I could still lose more after that. So I don't want to just be going from reboot to reboot. I want to be able to, learn how to maintain on my own with my eating choices and train myself. So that's my goal. Anyway, I think I covered everything I wanted to talk about. My daughter's probably going to be getting up soon. So I look forward to hearing some more and seeing some more posts and hearing some more of your videos. And thank you again for all the support. And I'll talk to you guys later. Juice on.